Hey Pisces, how are we? It's me, Lauren B with Untitled Tarot. Welcome back to your reading. We are going to do your spread this week with the Starseed Oracle, and I pulled from advice from the Animal Oracle. And then we had a jumper card from a completely random tarot deck that wanted to join the party this week, Pisces. So your reading's looking pretty interesting. It feels as though you have stumbled upon like some homework that you had to do. I had this impression that you were trying to figure out something, and in the process of trying to figure out one thing or manage one thing or heal like one aspect of yourself, it kind of became like a little bit of a domino effect. And now it's like, it seems like you're a little bit in the hole, Pisces, sort of digging your way through a bunch of stuff that you didn't realize you were going to have to do. So the first card that you have out is Starkeeper, Cosmic Ancestor, Seed the Light by staying grounded. And when I was meditating on your energy, I actually got this image of like a bunch of little fish like floating at the top of the water as if they were dead. But then I'd see like one little fishy eye open and then it'd close. And then one little fishy eye open. There's like the sense of like playing dead, right? It's like you guys are being very quiet. You're trying to play dead. It's almost maybe like, it's like, don't look at me. There's nothing to see here. Like, I'm good. I don't have to work on anything. It's just like, I don't want to, it's like, it's not like out of a sense of laziness. It's almost like, I don't want to go there. Like, I don't want to dig that deep. Like, I don't even want to touch that over there. You know, it's like radioactive. It's like a trigger point. But so I got that image. So that's very interesting. And then it felt over here a little bit like you guys were in a bit of a bubble. But then I got this Russian doll aspect thing. You know, Russian doll, and it's like a doll inside a doll inside a doll, and it's like all of these layers. And that's what this feels like for you. But it feels very protective, right? All of these different levels, and it's blue. So if you think like Archangel Michael, Shield of Protection, blue, there's like a lot of this healing, like angelic blue, like protective energy around you, Pisces, which is very comforting. If you weren't sure, they got your back. Spirit's watching out for you. But next out you have, you are not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. And again, I'm getting a lot of this, like, again, this like protective blue layer, and even you are like very much like shielded, cloaked in this protection. And the blue is also representative of your throat chakra, right? Your ability to express yourself, your authentic self. But in the midst of this, there is all of this kind of red, fiery energy, right? So it feels very much like a conflict, as though the more you learn about yourself, the more you grow, Pisces, the more authentically you are beginning to express yourself, that you may be finding that is coming into conflict or friction or opposition with your environment or the people that you spend your time with, or just people don't expect that you're doing things in a different way than maybe you normally have. And that's causing a little bit of tension, like a little bit of like, what happened over there? Like, what happened to him? Like, what's she doing that all of a sudden for? It's a little bit of that, but it's coming out of a need to be your weird self, that you're not really going to be for everyone, and you're not supposed to be for everyone, right? You're not on sale, Pisces. Come on. So, and then it's interesting, and then you have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict, right? And it's literally, like I said, it's the sense that as you ascend, as you heal, as you grow, as you're peeling back these layers of yourself, even if there are layers that you don't really want to touch, but you feel like you kind of have to, like you have no choice. You know how someone says that to us sometimes, that the more that you come into your fullest power, and it creates conflict in your environment with the people that you know, it's actually making you feel as though you are like living on two separate planets, like you and maybe some kind of relationship that you've had with maybe your friend group, with your job, with people in your family. Like, there's a lot going on right now. Like, there's a lot of people moving people in and out of their lives for a variety of reasons, you know? So there's a concept here that you're feeling a little bit like you're on two separate planets from a lot of the people that you may be surrounded by. I'm also getting timelines, and I'm also seeing these three, as I say that, these three big, so Trinity, that confirms me that Pisces, perhaps you have done enough work that you've perhaps jumped timelines, and now you're operating on a higher frequency, which also could explain some of this conflict this friction that you're feeling, because think of it as like a plane, right? So it's like a plane is at a very high altitude. In order for it to descend and hit land, right? Normally what happens is there's usually some kind of turbulence, like there's some kind of friction on the way down, right? That's like when your energy's up here and maybe people that you normally used to hang out with, maybe, you know, the quarantine's lightening up and now you're getting to see people you haven't seen in a long time, and you've been working on yourself and you've been keeping busy and you've been doing all of these things while you've been stuck at home. And now you're back around these people and you realize like maybe you guys just don't jive anymore. It's because you've done so much work on yourself, Pisces, that you've actually jumped timelines, which is amazing, right? Like a lot of spiritualists talk about how there is kind of like a split in the collective in terms of the timeline. So you kind of hopped over to the other lily pad, and that's really good. But now you're really feeling the separation, those two separate worlds, those two timelines, those two frequency differences. I can tell you're really feeling it, Pisces. And because of that, it's also not only conflict in your environment, it's also creating probably a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of fear. Like there's a little tenseness inside of you, which is why I think they really want me to hone in on all of this like soothing, blue, protection, layer after layer after bubble. It's not just like layers of yourself that you're unraveling to heal and deal with and to ascend. It's also like layers and layers of different kinds of protections, from your ancestors to your angels to like every single solitary thing. You know, it's like you don't even, and I put this protection card right down in the middle. See? So there we go. So next out, you got your next 3 cards out in reverse. And I normally don't take this deck in reverse, but I felt very called to. I think that there's a sense that you know that some of these people like aren't going to be able to come with you, or like you're just too different now. Maybe it's not right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just different, right? Because you have jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. And then you have I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. You have that in reverse. And then you have lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. And you have that out in reverse too. And the way that it is on my board, it's actually really interesting. It goes, it's like, oh, actually it goes this way. It goes, jump in, like Star Keeper. That's you, Pisces. You're a little Star Keeper. And then you're not for everyone. It's like, I'm sorry, like I'm not for everyone, right? It's like this reflection back. Because again, your environment is now reflecting what you have done, that inner work in yourself. So that's why it's like almost like a sifter. I'm almost seeing like a sand sifter, and you put like the sand in it and you shake it out, and then you end up with like all the seashells, like all the good stuff, right, left in it. It's kind of like that. So it's like that conflict in your environment is actually like the universe kind of shaking out all those bits. And then you have karmic relationships, lifting the veil, anything unaligned must go. And again, this is like you, now that you're on another timeline, you're on another planet, Pisces. It's like you have the ability now to look and lift a veil on what these actually were for you. Perhaps karmic relationships, soul growth, learning lessons, yes, but perhaps not the same kind of soul family and tribe that you've been looking for, that now you're going to have the opportunity to participate in, now that you're on a more authentic frequency and timeline to your soul's mission and purpose, right? But I also think there's an illumination here of how before all of this happened, before you started doing all of this work for yourself, all this healing, all of it, that you're looking back now and realizing like all the times that like you didn't jump in and do the things that like you really wanted to, or times that you maybe self-sabotaged, or maybe, you know, it wasn't just someone else or something else that had a problem or was an issue. Like maybe like the ways that, you know, accountability, we've also contributed to our own unhappiness, right? And lifting the veil in reverse, like times in our lives where we haven't questioned things that we really should have, and we've let red flags fly past us, right? We've all done it, but these are learning lessons. And so I think as now that you jumped lily pads, you're kind of looking back from the other side a little bit in shock at everything you kind of let slide and everything you did and participated in. And I also think you're feeling a little bit of anxiety because you're trying to hold space. I'm getting right now, Pisces. You're trying to energetically hold space because you went to a new timeline, but it's like the new timeline people, the new timeline opportunities, all that stuff. Like it's still, you feel like it's still coming in. You feel like it's still like not quite there yet. So you're trying to hold that space, and doing that is kind of, it feels like it's giving you a little bit of anxiety because what's left in your environment, whatever people are left, whatever friends are left, like your job, whatever, that stuff's at a lower vibe than you. So it's like, you're feeling the friction of it going out, and you're like trying to hold that space when you're waiting for the new stuff to come in. But in the process of that, I'm telling you, all this blue throat chakra, you guys need to work on your throat chakra. Do a throat chakra meditation, because this is real. This is a thing, Pisces. This is a thing. They're saying work on your throat chakra. We're protecting you, but work on your throat chakra for yourself so you can express yourself more confidently, more boldly, right? Soothe some of that anxiety. Next up, you have I Remember, Soul Plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. And then you have Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. And then we have Cracked Open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. And when I hear rock bottom here, I don't feel like catastrophic, like crying on the bathroom floor, cracked open, rock bottom. It feels more like, maybe like a little bit like up against the wall, like a little bit like nowhere left to run, like nowhere left to turn. It's like, they're giving me like a mirror house, fun house, like a fun house, and all the weird mirrors, like everywhere you turn, it's like, it's just your reflection. And that's part of this, like, these peeling back these layers of these things you have to look at in order to heal, but things that might be really hard for you to do so, especially when it's in such conflict with maybe the people in your environment or the way you used to go about doing things. But it seems as like the air is more clear up here, like from your higher timeline. And even though it's hard for you to hold that space, Pisces, and you're feeling that discomfort of the other energy trying to pull you down, right? That in that, getting that little bit of that higher perspective, which is why I feel like they're trying to soothe you with all this protective energy to let you know, like to calm your anxiety, that like you are being cared for and watched after, that in doing that, it's like when you shake away all the debris, like the actual diamonds of like who you are, your real you, the real fishy inside of you and what your actual mission is, it will appear to you, right? And it's like, here's you, quiet, meditative, looking into this pool, right? Your reflection and all the magic that goes in it. And knowing like, what is me? What is my path? Like, what is real to me, and what have I just collected from other people and other places and other experiences? Like tokens, like shot glasses on vacation. You know what I mean? And then again, with all this protection energy, safety, loyalty, trust. It's this like incubation, this like Russian doll of protection that you have going on here. And these cards look pretty much exactly the same to me. This is representative very much of divine masculine and feminine energy. And you have this third one right here, Trinity. But again, it's like this huge force. And then there's this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 layer. Again, 1, 2, 3. And it's like, here's you inside of it. It's like when you get through this little Russian doll level, here is you, Pisces. And it's interesting, if you go back to the You're Not For Everyone card, all of this is blue. And it's like almost like you go through, if you could show the people the cards, Lauren, that's helpful, yes. If you look into this portal, right? If you like, it's almost like as if you zoom in, here's you, right? It's very interesting. It's very interesting, Pisces. It's so layered. It's like there's so many layers to your environment. There's so many layers to your healing right now. There's so many layers to your interaction, what you are perceiving from source, and all of the other things that source is doing that you're not picking up on. It's like, so it is literally like a Russian doll. It's crazy. It's crazy. But in this, like, there is nowhere to run. Like, you can't, it's the sense that you can't jump back to the other lily pad. You know, like you can't go back to the old timeline. You can't go back to the old people. You can't go back to the old way of doing things, because it's like you know how bad it feels like to be that low. And it's not like, I don't want to say it in that way because it sounds almost like offensively to me, but it's just when you're not living authentically to yourself in a way that like makes you happy, even if it's a little bit of an opposition or conflict to other people, right? It's like that does more harm to you than good for you. Like the cost benefit for that does not add up. Like what it takes from you is so much more than what it provides you. And that's this like, there's nowhere to go. Like I just have to be myself. Like I know I'm weird. Embrace your weirdness, Pisces. Like there's no way out. Like everybody already thinks, you know, that's what Emmy Evolving always says. She always says like, Pisces, everybody always thinks you're weird. And when I heard that, it freed me. It freed me. I was like, oh, they do. Everybody already, okay, cool. Now I can just go forth, live long and prosper, you know, Pisces? So just embrace it, because that's where the magic happens. It's like you are what you are meant to be. So just be that. You don't have to collect personality traits from your friends or coping mechanisms from your coworkers or like low vibe, like gossip, like petty behavior, jealousy, like just, you know, that water cooler chit chat. Like maybe you just don't want to be involved in that anymore, right? And that's okay, Pisces, that's okay. But it's almost like there's nowhere to go but yourself. And if that means you got to be on a whole other planet than everyone else, Pisces, well, you're used to living up in the cosmos. So that shouldn't be too hard for you, right? And then you have portal out next in reverse. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. And it came out in reverse, and I was really struggling if I was supposed to take it that way. But what I actually think is in the process of this cracked open, of this alchemy of your growth and experience, and kind of seeing that reflective, I guess maybe because we're still at the end of Gemini season, aren't we? That it's like that duality, right? Right here, that duality again. That it's almost like you're seeing, it's a sense that you're holding this space. And it's almost like you're waiting for, like you were waiting for people to come in, or like an opportunity to come in, like an Ace of Pentacles, like something. It was almost like a signifier that you had gotten to a certain level. But I'm actually getting the sense it's like you mistook the portal as something that you were going to walk into, when in reality, it's underneath all of the layers of yourself. You are the portal. You're not stepping into the portal comes out of you. However that makes sense for you. You are the portal, Pisces. You are the portal. You're not walking into the portal comes out of you. But it's that Russian doll. That's why you have to heal all these layers. And I'm also getting the sense that that's why some of the levels are, and the devils that you meet at each level is so, it's like, it feels aggressive, and it hurts, and it's like more painful and like on a deeper level than you would expect, because like the potency and the power coming from the portal within you is so strong. And it's almost like that's why it's almost like those layers of pain were like the only thing that could survive down there, because they're also so potent and strong, but they also kept you at the lower timeline. So now you're being forced, because there's all these levels of protection. This is obviously very much divinely guided for you, this process, this timeline jump. That's why it's been so painful for you to get through this process. But now that you've done it, it's like, it's almost, that makes sense to me now. But I was trying to film your video outside, and there were all these flies, and they kept bothering me, and I couldn't concentrate. And so I came in here, and I actually pulled like a whole different spread for you, different cards, like I just scrapped the whole thing. And then I'm realizing that's this like outer conflict. It's like these flies. It's just like, get away from me. Like, get away from me. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. Like, just get away from me. There's no reason for you to be here. Like, there's that sense in this as well for you, that it's almost like the amount of conflict that you're going to feel in your outside life and in your relationships with people as you slowly start to separate further, as your timeline keeps going forward, it's going to be just more of a nuisance, like a pest, something that just annoys you. So don't let your anxiety get too ahead of yourself about it. Don't let your anxiety and your fear about that take over. Like there's going to be some huge conflict or some blow up between your friends or your coworkers or your job or something. It's not going to be like that, Pisces. It's just going to be like a pest. It's just going to be like a shoe fly. Don't bother me, because what you've already endured and had to go in and look at and heal, right, is so much more, which is why this portal coming out of you is so powerful. Like, I don't know what you're going to do, but let me know, because I'm fascinated. And also, with that throat chakra meditations on my channel, I have a playlist called the Vault Meditations. There's a bunch in there. There's all the Tibetan bowls. There's a playlist. There's a meditation. There's a namaste for every flavor in there. There's like 100 videos. But if any of you are into archangels and you pray to archangels and that's kind of your jam, because that's my jelly, Archangel Michael with all the blue. Archangel Michael for you. Okay. Continuing on, we have the 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, Expression, the Seas of Mintinka, Seeing Potential, Bringing Unconsciousness to Light, and Baby Steps, Action, Follow Your Intuition before it makes sense. So it's really, Pisces, that while you're holding this space in your new timeline, and there's a whole portal popping out of you, and everybody around you just not vibing anymore, right? It's like It's at the end of, I want to say it's Psalms 27. I want to say it's Psalms 27. And it says, be strong, take heart, and wait for the Lord. It's really one of those, like, just if it's just, you have a weird instinct, like, I should do that, or I shouldn't answer them, or I should go do that today, like any like weird like that, it's going to help you with this unraveling of your layers and expediting the process of getting the pieces. I see like pieces flying into your timeline, almost like a blank room, you know what I mean? And like The Sims, and you start adding things in it, right? It's like they're trying to help you get like your little rosebud coat in there so you can start getting all your stuff in, right? So it's almost like follow your intuition, little step by little step by little step. It might feel weird, it might feel scary, you're a baby, you might stumble, like it's okay, Pisces, like you know how to swim, like you know how to swim, absolutely. You have these healing seas, seeing potential, right? Kind of, I'm almost seeing like you like looking over a horizon. Oh my, yes. Looking over a horizon, or like over, like standing on a jetty and like looking over the water. It's almost just like seeing it right there. It's like hold that vision, Pisces. Don't let it go. Take baby steps. I know it sounds weird, like when they're like, why do I want to go buy a potted plant today? I don't know. Just do it because they said so. Just do it. Those weird urges, they're trying to, it's part of the process. The 7 sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression, right? All this expression to birth. It's almost like you're going through like birthing pains, Pisces, but you're birthing yourself. That's the portal. You're birthing yourself again. You're having your own rebirth. Oh my God. You're having a hell of a week, Pisces. You really are. All right, so I pulled a couple little advice cards for you out of the Spirit Animal Oracle. You got Canary Spirit. Sing your own song. Card number 12. That breaks down to a 3. Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. There's a sense that to rest, take time to rest. I'm getting baths. Take baths if you can. Be in water. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help. It almost looks like he's in a tub or something, doesn't it? It's almost like floating, like almost one of those isolation pods, right? And there's all this blue around here. It's like getting a body of water. It's gonna help that energy flow for you. It's gonna help soothe you, relax you, right? Because it's almost like, you know, like your battle scars are being healed, you know, in this process for you that's being very much protective, but to remember to take time out for yourself, because you're a Pisces, so you're used to swimming in emotional waters, but like sometimes you suck up a little too much water. Like take a break. Take a break, Pisces. And then you have I want to go back to this. You guys might be seeing 3s a lot, like a lot of 3, 3, 3s, because this is 12, so that breaks down to a 3. But then if you add it to 9, that's 21. So again, that's mirroring. That's that duality that we've been talking about. But then again, that also breaks down to a 3. So you might be seeing a lot of 3, 3s. And then the last card that popped up fell out of the deck, and then a card from the Light Seers Tarot. Is that what you call it? All these decks have crazy names. The Light Seers Tarot popped out, and the Justice card popped out, and which is 11, a master number, and Turkey Spirit 61 that breaks down to a 7. It's another master life path number. Give with gratitude and grace. And in this taking the time out, I'm also getting and with this sing your own song, it's like when you complete a level or a layer or defeat a devil on a level after going through and working on and healing a layer and a level, Pisces. That's a mouthful. It's almost like stop and give yourself props. You know what I mean? Stop for a minute. Take a break, take like a little emotional accounting, like, okay, what lesson did I just go through? Like, what did I just actually purge? What did I learn? Like, what came out of that? And realize that every step that you do it, you're returning yourself back to your original state, right? Before all the trauma and all the drama and everything in life that happened to you and for you and around you, and you just absorbed it, right? As you shed each of those layers, kind of stop and take a little emotional accounting of like, what did you just learn? What did I just do? Where am I at right now? How am I feeling? And then obviously gratitude for your process and being able to heal and having, you know, so much support and protection and everything around you, but also like being grateful to like, it's like, look back a little bit. Like, look what you did. Like, look how far you've come, right? Like, give yourself a little pat on the back and a bubble bath. Like, this is your justice. You are bringing, it's like, again, if you thought the portal was coming to you or you were going to walk to the portal's coming out of you. Like, you thought justice was going to be delivered. Like, you're delivering justice to yourself every single step that you heal yourself, Pisces. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I hope that this message found you well. If you would like to chat with me, I would like to chat with you down in the comments. Thank you to everyone for liking and subscribing. We've got some new energy, some new tarot tribe troop people here. Everybody's untitled. Everybody get a name tag if you must. But I'm very happy to have you all here. All my information's in the description box. All my decks that I use, all my email, all my stuff. So I hope that you're doing very well, Pisces. Be kind to yourself. Take care. Take heart. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.